Hello and welcome to an early look for Battle for the Crystals. The developer of the game reached out and told me about their game and said that basically asked if I'd like to play it. It's a combination of a survival slash twin stick shooter and kind of battle and stuff like that. I've been playing it for a while. I was making a video and then I realized I hadn't actually said that I got a free copy from the developers and so I just started over and I was like, I'm just gonna start over and do that. So I just want to adjust things just a smidgen and then I will start. Um, the font for the game is an odd choice. One, before I go into any of that stuff, the game is scheduled to come out in May of this year. So it's not that far off. This is an early look. Some things could change. So just keep that in mind for everything you see. The font's an odd choice because it's just, I don't know. It definitely is slightly hard to make out some of the letters and read some of these things. So I don't know. I think that's probably something that could change. I have the option to load an inventory. I haven't made it very far because the way the game progresses is frustrating, and I'll go into that. So I'm just going to start inventory from the beginning because I haven't made it very far. I made it like 3 levels, and that's as far as I'm probably going to get because of the experience has been. Um, there's some moments, there's some stuff that I like, and there are definitely some things that I find to be incredibly frustrating. So this is your hero unit. It's kind of cool that we have the hero unit. We have a variety of attacks that we can use, which are pretty cool. And at the end of every level, you have the option of buying upgrades if you have, made enough, if you've earned enough gold, which is something that is. Well, it's something that definitely leaves me feeling as though, normal is essentially hard mode. I mean, you just don't earn enough money to put very much into your stats to make upgrades, and given the nature of the game, you are likely to spend a lot of time just repeating your processes and doing it again and again and never making any progress. Unless you do really well. Like, I completely foobarred things up here because I was trying to get all the gold and everything. I have to survive 16 seconds. We'll keep the obelisk alive for 16 seconds, and I'm not sure it's going to work out. Actually, never mind. It'll be fine. But anyway, the problem with that is, with not being able to maintain all of the cash and earn the proper amount of money, is that, again, progress feels stifled. So this is your upgrade screen, which is fine. Like, I think the upgrade screen is cool. Like, all the information that I need is on here. I can upgrade my normal spell. I can upgrade a bunch of other things. There's all these other different things that work, and, I get it. This all makes sense. I have 42 gold. In order to save my progress, let's say, it's only been 3 minutes, right? So it's not really a lot of time, but I have a choice to make. I can choose to buy no upgrades, or maybe one upgrade, or I can spend all my gold on upgrades. Which I'm going to spend it on upgrades because that's what I need to do in order to make it past, this level and make it to the next level. Now, in order to, save it, again, like, you need 50 gold to save your progress. And that's not saving your progress of your spells. It's saving the progress where you are in the game, in the campaign. So if I had 50 gold and I saved it and I went on to level 2, I would be in a situation to where you would hope that things were going to work out for me, but they're not necessarily. If I save it and I don't have the proper amount of gold to put any, upgrades, or I didn't upgrade things that would have been beneficial for me to upgrade, I'm potentially going to just find myself unable to progress because the next area of the game is too difficult. And that's super frustrating, or if I only have a certain amount of time to play, if I can't play long enough to actually get far in the game, um, knowing that I'm not going to be able to really progress in the game gives me very little incentive to, well, play the game, because if I'm not going to be able to progress or get anywhere, and everything I do is going to potentially result in a little bit of failure, followed by not really getting anywhere in the game, I don't have a lot of incentive to continue playing. I hope that's something that changes before the game is released. If not, I feel it's ultimately, unfortunately, something that makes the game too difficult for what it is. Like, it being a strategy game that has, all these minions you get to, have, which is, pretty cool. I like that aspect. I think it's done really well. The units that we spawn are pretty cool. I do wish there were some, maybe a little bit of ranged units, and maybe there will be at some other time, but right now, like, I don't really have any ranged units. There's another issue where, even though there are multiple spells that I can have at my disposal, they're strewn around the map. They're not just placed somewhere easy for me to find, which is something that I don't really understand. I don't know why I'm walking into a new battle during something that is supposed to be considered a campaign, and having apparently forgotten where any of, forgotten whatever magic was that I was previously using. And honestly, it's super frustrating because I feel as though I'm starting every match at a disadvantage. And my character's a glass cannon. And not really a glass cannon, it's more of like a glass person. They break really easy. They die very, very quickly. 1, maybe 2 hits if I'm lucky. But overall, they just die super fast. And it's kind of frustrating because if I look at this situation right here, I have 2 choices. I could try to bring all my people down here and be like, hey, help me kill this thing. But if I do that, it would be a bad idea because then the obelisk isn't protected. They destroy the obelisk and then we all die. So, that idea is not sound. In any case, I've found that probably the best way for me to play this is to just let enemies continuously spawn and try not to destroy the 3rd obelisk in this level, in a hope that they spawn some gold so I can get more gold and hopefully have enough to make some meaningful upgrades. Well, you know what? My guys were like, screw you and your idea. We're just gonna do all of it ourselves. I'll do this. This might be hopeful for me. Some more damage. Can't save it. So if I die on this next level, that's it. Like, I would have to start over from the very beginning. And honestly, like, that is the biggest thing that I dislike about my experience so far. I don't like the fact that if I don't succeed, or if I don't get 50 gold, I can't continue where I left off. Like, I requiring gold to unlock the ability to save, it feels like a gatekeeping measure that you would see for, like, like rich people gatekeep things because they have money, and it's like, oh, you can't go here because you don't have enough cash. And I don't know, man. I definitely don't like that aspect. I think it is, artificially limiting towards what otherwise could be a really solid experience of going through and continuing. Like, if I screw up and I want to change my tactics, you know, I don't want to have to remember how I tried to accomplish 3 other levels before I, attempt another one. I just don't want to do that. I want to be able to pick up where I left off and try to improve from that way. I want to, take what I've learned from the various attempts I've made and actually do something with it. But instead, I have to go back to the original level and try again that way. And if I have level 1 down really well, like, and I can do it, I can make a bunch of cash and, well, I don't know, 46 gold or whatever. But if I can finish the first level without too much of a problem, and I feel pretty sure that I can do that, having to go back and play level 1 again and again and again just to get to level 2 and 3 again because I didn't make enough to save it, because I thought it was a better idea to put my money towards improving my character, means after a certain amount of times of trying, I'm not going to try anymore, because the game is telling me my time isn't important. And that's something I have that I can never get back, is time. So I definitely feel that something has to change with the way that system works, because the incentive to continue playing knowing that any amount of time you spend in the game can be completely disregarded just because you didn't succeed, I mean, it makes it to where I don't necessarily really want to come back and spend a whole lot of time with it, because again, if my time doesn't matter here, why would I spend it doing this thing? No. But anyway, enough of that, and just kind of focus on some other things here. Like, if things aren't going to go well, we're not going to succeed here. I can tell based on the enemies that are spawning. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and something miraculous will happen, but I just don't expect that to happen. Yeah, the obelisk is under attack. I don't have enough people here. You know, the poison that is supposed to do something is about near worthless. We're gonna die. Like, I'm dead. I can load the adventure to go back to where I saved it before, but the stats that I chose will not be the same that I did this run. So now I see this sign, there's this stuff right here that says, like, "Fear not, brave adventurer, for every challenge is but a stepping stone on the path to triumph. May the winds of fortune guide you, and may your next quest be adorned with glory and success." That sounds like a giant load of crap. What stepping stone? There is no stepping stone. I can take away from the fact that I lost and say, well, I did some things and maybe what I did didn't really work and maybe I can do something different. Well, maybe that is the case. Maybe it's not the case. Like, I'm loading the game with slightly different stats from before, and hey, maybe this will work out this time. I don't know, but again, when my glass character, like, these guys, what are these guys doing? They're going and doing all kinds of stuff that I don't want them to do. I have to start with a lack of magic that I previously had, because my character is a goldfish and has forgotten all the spells and magic they used previously, because of course they have. Like, I don't know, like, anyway, I just think it's very punishing. I feel slightly bad because, I mean, the game definitely looks interesting, like, it is a game that I'm interested in. I went into it hoping it was going to be, well, I guess different. I was hoping for something that wasn't going to be so, I don't want to even say difficult. I was just hoping it was going to be something that I could play and actually make some progress and feel pretty good about it. But given the nature of how the game plays and works, I feel as though making progress simply isn't going to happen. The character, the way that I chose for this save apparently was not the right choices. Given the fact that my character can take one or two hits before dying, the obelisk gets under attack like immediately because things just aren't working out right. I mean, I'm hosed. I can't finish any further in the campaign that's available now because of this kind of process. So for me, unfortunately, like, I mean, I'm just gonna walk away from it at this point. I gave it a shot. I tried it. I think the graphics are nice. I think the general concept is cool. I like that you get spells. I like that we have different units. I like that we can spawn special enemy or not enemies. We can spawn special allies to help us, and there's all these different things that we can do. But the current way progress is saved is just something that I despise. I do not like requiring gold to save my progress because the gold should be used to upgrade my stuff and make my character stronger. Because some of this is straight up, I made one very small, tiny mistake. Maybe my guys went the wrong way. Maybe a larger, stronger enemy attacked prior to me being ready for it because that's just what happened that time. And then everything fails because of one little thing, and I lose anything that I've been working towards. And it's less about a learning experience and feeling as though you're accomplishing things, and it just feels like this never-ending cycle of non-progression. So for me, like I said, this just is going to be something that, unless something drastically changes for it, it's not going to be something that really stands out to me as something that I want to really play again. Um, but I think, again, the general concept, the idea, the artwork, I think those aspects are good, and I think that the game is going to be appealing to people who, I guess, are looking for something more hardcore, difficult, and unforgiving. So, the link is in the description if you'd like to put it on your wish list, and that's all I got.